Good morning, friends. Today we are going to discuss one another important poet, and the name of that poet is Rupert Brooke. And the poem which we are going to discuss, which is prescribed in your course, is The Soldier. But before we start to analyze the poem or discussing the poem, as our practice, I would like to tell you something about the poet Rupert Brooke. Now, Rupert Brooke was born in 1887 and he died 1915. He is known as a war poet. His poetry is identified with the ideas related to the beginning of the First World War. The other poets of this period who shared Brooke ideas are Wilfred Owen, Siegfried Sassoon, and Edmund Blunden. So these all poets were known as war poets. The rising patriotic mood of the 1914s and his early death overshadowed his rest of his work. Brooke volunteered for the Royal Naval Division. He saw compact action in the fight for Antwerp in 1914, and he saw as well as the retreat. As he awaited a new deployment, he wrote the short set of five 1914 war sonnets, which concluded with one called The Soldier. Soon after the war, he was sent to the Dardanelles, where he refused an offer to be moved away from the front lines. An offer which was given to him because he was a poet and his poems were well appreciated and received, and his poems was a good means of recruiting more soldiers. But he died on April 23, 1915, of blood poisoning from an insect bite that weakened a body already suffering with dysentery, which is a stomach problem. Now look at the introduction of the poem. So we can say that people were disappointed with imperialism in the beginning of the 20th century. It was also a period of low self-esteem on the part of the Britishers. When the war broke out, the First World War, which broke out in 1914, many people welcomed it as the necessary crisis which would boost the national life. But this was not a practical view. The ugly and painful side of the war came to forefront, the disaster created by the war. The war is not a solution. War doesn't bring anything pleasant in life. Rather, it presents with us the ugly side, the brutal side of the life. So in this way, The Soldier is one of the five sonnets which Rupert Brooke wrote and published as the 1914 sonnets in new numbers. It was commented by Dean Inge, and he considered it, I quote, the enthusiasm of a pure and elevated patriotism, unquote. So in this way, it is in the tradition of other patriotic poems like Tennyson, Blow, Bugle, Blow. Now look at the beginning of the poem, and the poem begins with this line: if I should die, think only this of me, that here some corner of a foreign field, that is forever England, There shall be in that rich earth a richer doth concealed, a dust whom England bore, shaped, made aware, gave once her flowers to love, her ways to roam, a body of England's breathing English air, washed by rivers, blessed by sons of home. So these are, it is a sonnet, so these are the 8 lines of the beginning of the poem. Now, it was also a period when British domain was extended to far off lands. The British soldiers were employed in many other countries to maintain law and order situation. In this way, the poet refers it, any British soldier dies in any corner of the world, he must not think that he had died in a foreign country, because it belongs to England. Look at the beginning. If I should die, think this only, this of me, that there is some corner of a foreign field, that is for our England. And the poet says that the foreign field is in England. It is a homeland for them. Because it belongs to England, Britain has all rights over that country. It has shaped and taught manners to its people. Otherwise, they would have remained barren and uncivilized. The country is flourishing because of their hard work and wisdom. They have created all the necessary things in that country. Similarly, they have developed among its people the British way of thinking. Therefore, it is an honor if any British soldier dies and buried into the dust of that country. In this way, the poet boosts, promote enthusiasm, the morale of the British soldiers fighting in a foreign country. A dust whom England bore, shaped, made aware, gave once her flowers to love, her ways to roam. That's why that the English people have taught these native how to live a life, how to live a cultured and civilized life. A body of England's breathing English air. The natives, although they belong to that country, but they have inculcated the manners and methods of England, washed by rivers, blessed by sons of home. Now look at and the second part, the last part, and think this heart all it will shed away, a pulse in the eternal mind, no less. Give somewhere back the thoughts by England given, her sights and sounds, dreams happy as a day, a laughter learned of friends and gentleness, in hearts at peace under an English heaven. So the sacrifice of one's life for a noble cause is a great achievement. If someone sacrifices his or her life for a noble cause, for a big cause, so it is a great achievement. It removes all kind of evil feelings from the heart. So you don't have any kind of bad feelings, or you can say that you don't have any kind of repentance or remorse in your heart that you have sacrificed your life for a wrong cause. The soul is instantly liberated and mixes with the eternal mind. So in this way, when someone sacrifices his life for a noble cause, its soul mixes immediately with the eternal mind. The person gets salvation. The person's mind is full of with the love of the country. He reflects upon the moments when he has lived with his friends, although he would miss many sights and sounds. But the sacrifice for the supreme cause provides him absolute peace of mind. He will be duly rewarded by God for his sacrifice. So such kind of you can say that mood was developed by Brooke in this poem. In this way, the poem The Soldier expresses the mood of British people at the beginning of the First World War. The poet boosts the morale of the British soldiers. He also tries to them that they are fighting for a noble cause. Similarly, the expressions some corners of foreign field forever England and a dust whom England bore, shaped, made aware, etc., reflect British feeling of imperialism. So you can say that in conclusion we can say that when the soldier was returned, the bodies of servicemen were not regularly brought back to their homeland. So this was also a fact that so many soldiers were dying in fighting the First World War that it was not possible to bring all the dead bodies at home. But they were buried nearby where they had died. In the First World War, this produced vast graveyards of British soldiers in foreign fields and allows Brooke to portray these graves as representing a piece of the world that will be forever England. That's why he says that foreign land is also their England. Brooke prefigured the vast number of soldiers whose bodies torn to shreds or buried by shell fire would remain bereaved and unknown as a result of the methods of fighting that war. So this is the brutal, the other aspects of the war. On the first part, the poet is, you can say that, appreciating the sacrifice when someone is sacrificing his life for a noble cause, and he boosts the moral of the British soldiers by saying that wherever they die, don't think that they have died in a foreign land, but think that that country, that foreign land also belongs to England. But at the same time, when we look at the reality, that how many people are dead, how many people are died in that war, and their bodies are torn to shreds. So it is a very heart-touching situation, heart-touching scene. So we can say that the poet has presented both the aspects of war, and the soldier is a narration of a soldier who has actively fought in the war, and he was in the forefront in the fighting area, and he sacrificed his life for the cause of the country. I hope that you would enjoy the poem, and I will send you the PDF notes of these poems as well as to you. Thank you.